Welcome to Mighty Married Moms. Join us at our kitchen table twice a week as the Mighty Married Moms, Debbie, Linda, Wendy, invite spectacular guests to weigh in on staying sexy, vibrant, and healthy, building marriages with soul-satisfying connection, raising happy, healthy, successful kids. Conversations with Mighty Married Moms will bring you closer to the life you really want. Episode 127. Today's show is brought to you by Deborah C. Owen, Family and Life Coach at youcanraisegreatkids.com. If you are tired of worrying about the choices your kid is making, or tired of the stress of constantly arguing with your kids or them arguing with each other, then don't wait until you are truly desperate. Get the help you and your family need and deserve today. Connect with your kids with calm compassion. Call Deborah Owen at 978-835-4354.
Hello everyone, welcome to Mighty Married Moms, and my name is Wendy Williams from connectagain.org.
And I'm Linda Tighe from allwellbreaksloose.com.
And Debbie Owen from youcanraisegreatkids.com.
And we get together on a weekly basis to bring you the best that we can of people who will encourage us to live the lives that we really want. And today is no exception. And we had a great conversation with Nancy Cantor, who is part of the Dream Factory and helps women entrepreneurs and actually men too, but a lot of women entrepreneurs actually grow their dream businesses and actually tap into the things about themselves that are gifts and abilities and experiences that other people can really take advantage of and use and build a lifestyle second to none based on what they're good at.
I was inspired by Nancy, weren't you?
Absolutely. She's done so many incredible things.
Yeah. And one of the things that she talked about, I have been thinking about this, and I kind of think of her as a midwife. Like she really helps people bring forth a dream and a vision. And one of the ways that she described that I thought was, I know I've heard it before, but she articulated it really well, and that is to actually come up with the kind of lifestyle that you really want that will support the best that you can give to yourself, to your family, and to the people that you serve, the clients that you have. And design a way for your income or your revenue stream or your business to support that vision. So let's just take a guess. Like, let's just say I really want to be in the house on my computer working 4 mornings a week, and then the rest of the time I want to be out visiting family or friends or making hospital visits or whatever. Is there a way to schedule my life such that my revenue generating time is 3 or 4 mornings a week rather than all day? And that way have the ability to be with my kids at their soccer games if I was at that childbearing age or whatever. But so that just really made incredible sense to me, and she did that. She did that herself, and she teaches other people how to do that.
Yeah, well, I think, we typically think the other way around. You think, what do I want to do for a career?
And how can I fit in my family?
And how can I fit in my family?
Yeah.
So it was really interesting to think to flip that around would be the most important thing to decide first.
Right.
Yeah, and it's, let's face it, it's not news. I mean, I have heard that before. But it's great to have it reiterated and just to remind myself, this is what I want to be doing. I want to start with the life that I really want to create and be living every single day. And then how do I support that from the work that I do?
Right.
And I want to be passionate about my work, too. I don't want to...
Totally. Totally.
And that's
that woman she said that was in a direct sales kind of a thing. Like, there's a lot of opportunities to have direct sales opportunities. Like, I think the woman she mentioned was doing Pampered Chef. And had 3 little kids, and it was a great way to not be, full-time in a job, but yet that lifestyle of evening home parties, the woman was like, I'm still away from my kids, the homework, whatever that might mean. And so Nancy said, so how's that working for you? And I think she said something like, well, the income's good, but it's really hard on my family life. And so Nancy said, well, what did you used to do when you were in kind of corporate America Monday through Friday? She said, well, I was a bookkeeper of some sort. And Nancy's, in that moment, happened to need somebody that could help her balance her books. But it just kind of morphed into this woman saying, I have a skill set. I can consult with other people about how to do their books well. And so she was able to do something, again, probably when her kids were in school, I'm guessing, and really curtail or create something where she was having that secondary income or additional income for her family, but yet on her terms. And I would hope that she was passionate about it, or she was at least gifted at it,
right?
So that felt good to be able to say, sure, I'm happy to share my expertise and thank you for your check,
right?
You know, what a wonderful combination. Right. So that was one example of helping somebody see something from a very different perspective. And I know that's been helpful to me over the past few years too, is people along the way helping me see things from a different perspective. And I'm still in there growing my own business and saying I don't have to kind of do the Monday through Friday travel into Boston or the next biggest city and fight the traffic or whatever in order to have a life that I want. I saw something on Facebook yesterday. It was so sad. Life is more than just paying bills and then dying. And that's what it strikes me as. Oh. Is there a way to kind of pay the bills and live?
And live. Absolutely. Right? There is a way to do that.
Yeah.
And we should all be striving for that. And,
right.
And being creative, thinking outside the box. Don't feel like you just have to follow the path that everybody else has done, because it's not necessarily the right path for you.
No.
Yeah. And not to say that there's full-time careers out there that people just love and want to be at all the time and feel so passionate about, that they're driven to build that, and your family can be a part of that and be a part of that dream and that vision and believing in what a difference you're going to make in the world. It's not that we're saying that's not enough, you know, that we wouldn't recommend that. And Nancy was not saying that either, but you have to decide what your lifestyle is going to be.
And that's what we keep coming back to in this show, right? It's all about choosing your life with intention.
Very
it's
purposeful.
All about choice.
Yep.
Being, purposeful.
Awake to it, conscious of it, as opposed to just being like, well, this is what you do. You graduate from college, you go get, you know, I've had opportunity to speak with a lot of young people recently who are at that spot where they're either just graduated or just about to graduate, and they're like, yep, now I got to go to the real world. And it really hits me in the heart, like, what do you think you've been doing for the first 21 years of your life? Have you been living in a fake world?
Well, college and university is not exactly like the work world. So.
Well, no,
it's a little different.
I get that, but that's still valuable life experience, and your heart still can be broken. You still can go hungry. You can still kind of go, I don't have enough money to put in the laundry machine. I got to figure out.
That's true.
I need to sell some more newspapers to, you know, or whatever. So I guess I was just sensing that, and there's some sort of this was wonderful and lovely and easy, and now I'm going into drudgery. The real world equals drudgery, and
that's true. I don't think that
achy thing for me to hear.
That doesn't need to be that way. For instance, you know, my daughter is in nursing school right now, and she's doing an accelerated second bachelor's degree, and she's doing her clinicals, and she is so excited. And she's really looking forward to having the opportunity to work in a hospital when she graduates in about a year. And she's just loving it.
Yeah.
And so we want that for our young people as well as for us, right?
Sure,
absolutely.
Sure. Excited. And that's a job. That's going to be, you know.
Yeah, it's not all going to be roses.
No, it's going to be, but it's not going to be like that entrepreneurial thing. She's going to be going to an organization, clocking in, and, you know, living by somebody else's standards or whatever. Right. And but it's not to say one's better than the other, but for those of us who are trying, for the people out there that are trying to live a life that is more lifestyle centric in some way, how can we and it might be being a nurse 3 days a week.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Absolutely. She was talking to me this week and saying that she's been talking to some people, and the people on the night shift actually have to really be a little bit more creative in terms of solving problems, because the right person isn't always there. And she's like, I like that. So I like
you mean like if something happens with a client, a patient, and there's not the troops aren't all there at 3 a.m.
Right.
How do you make it's an interesting.
She says she really likes that idea.
Yeah.
So she's like, I might want to do the night shift. And she said, plus that way, assuming she gets married and has children, you know, that gives her more flexibility during the daytime too.
Sure, right.
And so even though she'll be doing a job,
right,
and clocking in, as you say, working for somebody else, she's creating a lifestyle that
works for her.
That works for her. It's exciting for her.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And you're so good.
Ought to be young again, and you know,
I know on that end of it,
everything is like new adventure. Everything's still new adventure, but you know,
it does feel different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, when you don't have kids yet, and those responsibilities, you can experience. You can say, let's do the night shift. It sounds really interesting and creative and awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Well, when my kids were little, they were playing with other kids who lived kind of around the corner from us, and that mom did do the night shift at a hospital in Boston. And she said, and even after her kids got older, she kept doing it.
Yeah.
She really liked doing the night shift.
Yeah.
I mean, she did it originally to give her the freedom to be there for the kids.
Right.
And she would sleep while they were at school. But even after that wasn't necessary anymore, she was still doing the night shift just because she liked probably a lot of the same things that Brittany was thinking that she likes about it.
There's a rhythm to it. Yeah. And so it's just what Nancy says, just bring that lifestyle purpose first. And I love the way she called it a win-win-win.
Yeah, I have that written down too.
The 3 wins, right? For your kid, she put her kids first, yourself, and then the people that you serve. Like everybody, people going, thankfully you can help me with my books, and oh my gosh, or thankfully you can help me with my, you're holding me accountable to the kind of lifestyle I want to use for eating, and thankfully you're helping me with, being disciplined with my children, my own discipline with how I interact with my kids or whatever. So all of us have a gifting that we can give in the world, and take our family, our children, our husbands, our wives into account. And I just really, and that's typically not the way we're schooled up to think. We're just not. We just go march.
I think
we're educated. We're still in the get a good education, get a good job. I mean, that's really the mantra.
9 to 5, 1 to 3, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not. Okay.
And it's not like that
What kind
anymore.
of family life do you want to have? What's important to you?
Yeah.
And
That's
then
not-
what do you
not-
want your work life to be like?
I think we need to
that.
teach young people that they should be thinking about that.
Absolutely.
Right. How do we build that into the schools, or how do we build that into the conversation? Nancy, you need to help us out.
Yeah.
We're going to get Nancy out here more, or people like Nancy, people like us who just say, wait a minute. And I've talked about it. I'm a woman of faith, and there's something that says to me that each one of us is gifted with certain gifts and abilities that help the world grow or go in a better direction. And if we're so busy paying the bills and then dying, then we're not, those gifts and those things aren't growing and being gifted to the world. And everybody that's listening has something that is really imperative and important to contribute. And if we're all just kind of buttoned up.
And I have to say, that's one of the reasons I decided to go into family coaching, is because I spent so many years as a school teacher seeing the kids who would come through the library where I was working, and they were just existing from day to day. They were at school because they had to be there. Oh, and I get to see my friends. But, there was no meaning or purpose.
Absolutely.
They just exist. And if they're doing that at the age of 14, what are they going to be doing when they're 24 and 34 and 54? So, that's one of the reasons I really wanted to become a family coach, is to help kids get that meaning and purpose into their lives. That can just be, a purpose for the next year.
Right.
It doesn't have to be for the next 20 years.
Right, yeah.
Right. Although there's nothing wrong with having a vision of, and actually what I teach kids and families is even kids should envision the kind of lifestyle they want to enjoy, and then work backwards. 10 years, 15 years from now, what kind of life do you want to be living? How do you want to spend your leisure time? What kinds of things do you want to be doing during your work time?
Right.
And then work backwards from that into, well, how many hours does that mean I want to work? And what kind of job opportunities would that give me based on my skill set and my interests?
Yep.
And continue working backwards further to, what kind of education do I need? What kind of courses do I need? What kind of grades do I need to be working on right now?
Yeah.
And that's how you reverse
But that's
engineer.
not how our education system is structured.
Not so much.
No.
Really not. It's structured to take these standardized tests in a lot of ways. Unless you have a teacher who's dedicated to, which there are. There certainly are out there.
Thankfully they are.
But not enough, and even the ones who want to be more in that, teach more that way, they're not, it's just not structured that way, so they find it very difficult to do. So I really think if we could, sometimes I just think if we could change our education system,
Let's change
so
much.
much the world.
Let's change.
So many ways.
Are you with us? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Nancy Cantor actually has a background in the school system too, with taking those teenagers with some special challenges and remember that. And so a lot of her, she just really wants people to bloom and grow in the way that they're gifted to bloom and grow. And she just really brings that home and lives it. And
sorry, it makes me think of bloom and grow.
Me too. Exactly what I thought of.
Forever.
Yeah.
That was a great song.
But yeah,
that
we
was
could
a great
go,
love
we could
song.
go
go on. We
on
should-
and on
we
about the
should
education
end.
systems, and teachers should be paid more money, and the
Right.
whole thing. We would
Right.
have better teachers. We would
That's
have
right.
better system. We would have, you know,
Right,
very
right.
different, I think. But
So-
And
that's
Nancy, instead of talking about it, is doing it.
Yeah.
So we thank her for that, and we should probably
We should
bring this to a
wrap up.
close.
Yep.
But thank you all very much for listening to another episode of Mighty Married Moms, our kind of a wrap-up conversation. And be sure that you find us on iTunes. Give us a great rating and review, and
Please.
tell other people about us. Tell other people about us, because really, we're getting this kind of good information
That's right.
around the kitchen table. All right, take care. From Mighty Married Moms, signing off. Bye-bye.
have a great day.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Mighty Married Moms. Tune in twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays to meet fascinating and inspiring guests who will help you create the life you've always wanted.
You can find these episodes and special gifts just for you at mightymarriedmoms.com, as well as a link to our Facebook community.
where we continue the conversation around the kitchen table. Please also help share the love by leaving a review on iTunes. We'll see you next time.